Hey, shalom to you, man. First of all, my name is Dion Anderson. I decided to make this video so I can be able to put this message out there. I'm not going to get off into everything that's going on. I've been down for 20 years inside this prison. I just found out in 1996 when a former friend of mine went down to the Sacramento Superior Court, and then when she was asking for all the records of my case, they waited for about 90 days before they actually gave her some form of documents. So while she was looking inside all the Pacific documents, she ended up coming across this document right here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you understand it. But what it is, and I'm going to read it to you. It's from the Sacramento Superior Court. And it's an order for disposal of all criminal exhibits. It has the judge's signature, and it has the date of May 29th, 2002. This is the other document, same exact Pacific theme, instructing them to destroy all the evidence that was used against me. Now I'm going to tell you this. This same judge, I went pro per in 1999 during my trial. I was innocent of all the charges. They brought the victims. None of the victims identified me. My only silliness of it was I had went pro per by myself. I didn't know no law, but I believed it in the system. I'm only 20 years old. I thought the system could be trusted. I thought I can trust a judge because the judge knows the law. I'm thinking this is America. This is the way I was raised to believe. Didn't even realize this judge found me guilty of 17 counts after putting the jailhouse informant inside my cell that I never incriminated myself on anything. I thought initially I was being arrested for something totally unrelated to the charges in which I was convicted for. But a situation that I didn't know about. This man used that information, told the DA, which I didn't even know him. The DA ended up coming back, re-fingerprinting me a second time. And after that second fingerprint, they used it, them set of prints right there in order to then say I was the one who committed this home invasion out there in Rancho Cordova. When the lady identification technician came inside there, I questioned her and said, can fingerprints be manipulated on latent cards? She said they can. It was on transcript. I asked the crime scene investigator about the same issue, if whether or not he took any photographs or did he preserve the tape. He said he didn't and didn't take no photographs. There was nothing to substantiate those latent cards. But besides the judge looking at the reality, he sentenced me and convicted me on all 17 counts and gave me 49 years when I was only 20 years old, at 21 years old at the time. 49 years and there was no witnesses, no victim. On the day of the crime, the victim did not identify. I had on tan color clothing. The police officer got on the stand and said tan cannot be mistaken for black at nighttime. I was not identified. And the crime occurred right on the same street as my parents lived. Sent to 49 years. My appellate attorney would not raise it. When I did file a habeas corpus back inside the Superior Court, first in 2001, it went to my trial judge. He denied it because my appellate attorney wouldn't bring it up on appeal. Wasn't my fault. I didn't know law. Second of all, when I came back and filed it in 2004, it went right back to the same trial judge. The whole time he fraudulently knew he had been destroyed all the evidence. I wasn't even supposed to have this document. 2016, when my friend finally went, asked the judge about it. Asked the clerks about it. They gave her all these documents. She's making copies. When I told my attorney that I have on my youth parole eligibility hearing, which is this September 14th, 2018, I go next month. We initially told him, we showed him the document. He said, Anderson, you're not supposed to have this. But he's wanted to charge me now $20,000 in order for me to now file this inside the Superior Court. This being evidence for my release. So 2017, I decided to file it in the state court. When I filed my first habeas corpus, this is what I filed. It was stamp marked, postmarked, dated, everything. I brought it up under newly discovered evidence. The judge that they put on it was not my same judge because he retired. But they denied it under Henry Robbins and Henry Clark, saying that I had exceeded my timeline. They refused to even acknowledge it. But it's newly discovered evidence, and the Senate bill just got passed, Senate Bill 1134 in 2017. But they didn't acknowledge it. So when I did refile the petition for reconsideration, I don't want to get to showing you all these documents. Here's my petition for reconsideration. He denies it and specifically tells me that I should have mentioned it. This is his response right here. He tells me petitioner did not claim in his habeas corpus petition that he has recently become aware of newly discovered evidence of an exonerating nature. That was the caption that I had on my petition. Newly discovered evidence. They turned a blind eye. So I filed a petition for writ of mandate, California, to the Court of Appeals. They denied it in 6 days. I filed to the California Supreme Court, petition for review. They played a game on me because I had only 10 days to file the petition for review. But what they did, the courts of appeals did, they waited till 8 days in order to serve me that document. So I got it late. And I'm thinking generally the time to when you need a file is on the date you receive it. They didn't do that. They played me by the technicality. At this time, I've been learning law. Passed the California Supreme Court. I then just filed it to the United States District Court. United States District Court just got back at me on 2 separate occasions. First, they denied me and said it was excessive and that I need to seek pre-certification from the courts of appeal. I said, okay, because I did file earlier on the same issue, but this is newly discovered evidence. So I filed a Rule 60B motion, which gets around that pre-certification from the Ninth Circuit. I filed it on 2 separate occasions. First, they accepted it as an objection to the magistrate, so I refiled it. Then they turned my Rule 60B into a Rule 59E, which is asking for a new trial. So then I refiled on June 28th, letting them know this is not a Rule 59A, a Rule 59D. I'm filing a Rule 60B motion, which is fraud, newly discovered evidence. They turned around and kept my thing as a Rule 59. Didn't even acknowledge the newly discovered evidence. I've been sitting in here 20 years, and these people have already destroyed the evidence way back in 2002. All my habeas corpus that I filed, all my court proceedings was all done fraudulently. I'm an innocent man still sitting up in here, and they have no evidence, no court transcripts, no evidence since 2002 from the very same judge that convicted me. So instead releasing me, they decided to turn a blind eye. So the only way for me to fight back is to put this out there to you. Make this shit go viral, because it can be your son, it can be your daddy, it can be your mother. They're destroying evidence by the judge's own John Hancock, and we don't know nothing about it. If you don't make this stuff go viral, if this same repeated thing going on, evidence being destroyed, and we don't know nothing about it, district attorney is playing like we got all the evidence. They don't got nothing. In a lot of our cases, I've been down 20 years. In AB 79, the legislative language that they used, they destroyed all my stuff in 2002, and I'm still here. Just now came across the information, and they're turning a blind eye. So if I can't trust the justice system, I have to put this information out in your hands. Make this video go viral because it can be your sons that's in the institution and you don't even know it. Just like what's going on in Charleston, Virginia, and they impeaching these Supreme Court judges. These judges in California need to be getting impeached for abuse of discretion and turning their blind eyes towards what's going on to the people in prison, because we getting stuck and they're using these technicalities in order to keep us from being able to have our issues heard. So I got to do a desperate situation and put this in your hands. Make this shit go viral. Because if you don't, they're going to keep doing the same damn thing. I go to a hearing September 14th, 2018 for a youth parole eligibility parole hearing. But it ain't guaranteed they're going to release me. The system is corrupt. I'm innocent sitting up in this damn thing for 20 years.
Hello, Facebook family and friends. I know that everybody has been patiently waiting to find out what happened at my husband's parole hearing. First of all, let me say I'm Telsa. I'm Dion Anderson's wife. And thank you so much for your kind words, for sharing the post that I put up for my husband. And thank you for every bit of encouragement. Thank you for every prayer. And thank you so much for all of the information that you shared with us and suggestions that you made. Thank you. So at this time, I want to share with you what happened at his parole hearing, which was supposed to take place on yesterday, September 14th. My husband was appointed an attorney who went to see him one day, which was last week sometime. And they had a conversation about how the parole hearing would go. On Thursday, they came and got my husband for his parole hearing a day early. The attorney was there, and he went in to see my husband and said, "We're going to have the hearing on today." That was sideswipe number one. Sideswipe number two was when his attorney said to him, "Look, I've already made a deal with the district attorney, and this is what I need you to go in there and do. I need you to go in there and plead guilty. But don't only plead guilty to all of the charges that you've been convicted for and have spent 20 years in jail for. Also tell them that you will never bring up the documents destructions again. You will never mention the documents that's been destroyed. You will never talk about the latent fingerprints. You will give it up. And you will stop trying to go before the courts to be heard again." He told my husband he had already made this deal with the district attorney, and that if my husband agreed to this, that they would give him 3 more years, and then he'd be free. My husband said to him, "How do I go and sign a contract on a deal that you made without discussing with me? I can't do that." My husband's attorney then said to him, "You either go in there and plead guilty and never mention the records being destroyed again, never mention the fingerprints again, and give up on your right to go before the courts. If you don't do this, you will spend the rest of your life in jail and you will die there. You will die in prison, because they will give you another 10 to 20 years if you do not go in there and do what I said. I've made this deal with the district attorney and you need to stick to it." My husband told him no. Then he tells my husband, "If you don't do this, the district attorney is going to report me, because I've already told him that you would." And my husband said, "You shouldn't have told him that I would without my permission." Facebook family and friends, I want you to know that I'm proud of my husband. No, he didn't get the parole. They gave him 5 years before he can come before the parole board again. Went to see my husband today, and I love him, and I'm proud of him. And I'm proud of him because of the fact that he understands that as long as we let this system bully us, we will never, ever take the power away from them. Bullies are powerful because we fall into submission to them. They're powerful because we give in to them. And this system has bullied people over and over and over again. They have bullied people into saying yes when they should say no. They bully them into saying no when they should say yes. They bully people and back them into a corner to sit down when they should stand up. And I'm proud of Dion Anderson. I'm proud of my husband for standing up for what is right, because he understands until we join together and stop allowing ourselves to be bullied, the bullying will never stop. So Facebook family and friends, I want to first tell you thank you. Thank you for sticking by us all this time. We have over 660,000 views on the video that I posted about my husband. And I want to tell you thank you for for every kind word, every word of encouragement. Thank you for every time you pressed the share button. Thank you for every suggestion that you made. Thank you for every prayer that you prayed. Thank you. Thank you for every single word of encouragement. Thank you. Wonderful. We have shown this system that we can join together regardless of race, regardless of color, regardless of culture. We have shown this place that we can join together regardless of religion, regardless of social status. And they are afraid. They are afraid. My husband has already received notice from the court that they will hear his case again. And this is what we're waiting for. As soon as my husband gets a court date, I will let you know. And just like you have stood by us on Facebook by posting and sharing and commenting, I'm going to ask you all to join us on that court date. As many of you that can, to join us at that courthouse. My husband is in Kern Valley State Prison in Delano, California. Those of you who want to write letters, write them to the governor. Write them to the mayor. Write them to the commissioner. Write them to Congress. That's where your letters need to be written to. Write your letters in protest of unjust judicial system. Write your letters in support of my husband. But write them to the Congress. Write them to the commissioner. Write them to the governor. Write them to the mayor. Let's flood their office with letters. Let's flood their office with recommendations. Let's flood their office with letters of support. This is how we stand together, Facebook family and friends. This is how we make a loud noise, and this is how we stop ourselves from being bullied. It's time for us to stop letting this system bully us into a corner. And one thing my husband realizes that had he not stood up for what was right, the bullying will continue. We have to stand up somewhere. And this is the place that we need to stand up. You've already shown your support. You've already shown your concern and your love. Let's don't stop. Let's refuse to be bullied anymore. Not just for my husband, but for that 14-year-old that's spending 30 years in jail at 14. But for those husbands and those brothers and those fathers that's sitting in jail and that are innocent. But for those who have committed crimes but they have gotten extensive jail sentences. Let's stop being bullied. Let's stop saying yes when we should be saying no. Let's stop sitting down when we should be standing up. We need your help because one person and two people is not going to do it. It's your voice that was heard. It's your voice that has them afraid. It's your voice. It's this united voice that we join together with. And Facebook family and friends, I'm proud of you and thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the power and the strength. Because in unity there is strength. Standing up there is power. And we've proven that we can be a mighty force. Over 660 views. We're a mighty force, people. Let's continue to do that. Let's take the next step. Write those letters. Make that loud noise. My husband is going to need an attorney when he go before the court system again. Please go to the GoFundMe page. If you could just do $1, just $1. Can you imagine if each of you just did $1? We could pay for an attorney. Yes, we've contacted the attorneys that you guys have given us suggestions to contact. And they said no. Some of the people have suggested 1 or 2 attorneys over and over and over again. We couldn't even get past the receptionist. They wouldn't even hear us. I contacted the Innocent Project over a year ago. So a lot of your suggestions we did follow through on. I need your help. My husband needs your help. Please help us. $1 would be wonderful. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. And thank you everybody who's already donated. We have a long way to go. Continue to help us fight. Continue to share the videos. Share these videos, please. Continue to make this loud noise, because only if we make a loud, united noise are we going to be heard. We have been sitting alone in silence long enough. Too many of us has taken the road of being in a corner and allowing ourselves to be bullied because of what we thought they were going to give us. Because trust me, my husband had agreed to those 3 years. They would not have let him out in 3 years. I'm proud of him. We're going before the courts again. That has already been confirmed. The Most High is going to have his way. That has been confirmed as well. Please don't stop praying. Please don't stop sharing. Please continue to follow us on this journey. It's time for us to stand united together. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done. Thank you so much for every word, every bit of encouragement. Thank you. Let's continue to share, Facebook friends. I saw my husband today and he is absolutely fine.